We cross into the States, Botch and Dillinger, pull out of the fucking convoy, speed up, flank us, completely cover our van in eggs on the highway. Like, you motherfuckers.
After all that crap.
After all that shit, that's what you do.
Right.
I hate you.
Worst gig ever with your host Geoff Garlock on Revolver. Oh,
isn't hardcore the best and also the worst? You got that right. Welcome to Worst Gig Ever. This is Geoff Garlock. I am your host. This is the podcast where we talk to musicians about how terrible it is to be in a band and to do this thing that we for some reason love. And today we are talking to Nate from Converge, Doom Riders, Old Man Gloom, not to mention Jesuit and Channel, and we get into all of those. We talk about some amazing, punishing hardcore stories. We get into the grind of what it is like to be a band in a van doing miserable stuff, but you can't stop doing it. So keep on listening. This is one of my favorite interviews we've done. Nate has got the goods. Check out them goods. Yeah. Worst gig ever. So I think the best place to start, some sort of shit gig, some worst gig, whatever you think is the best one to start with.
Oh, man. What's the best one to start with? There's a litany of shitty gigs out there.
I'm sure there's just hundreds at this point.
Well, there was the time Jesuit was on tour with Botch, and I think we were in Mississippi, and we played in a trailer park with a band called Cop Sodomy.
Sounds like a good band.
It actually, no, you know what? That was actually an awesome show.
Right.
It was.
Well, first, why was that an awesome show?
It was just fucking bizarre, man.
Right.
It was a trailer park in Mississippi with a band called Cop Sodomy.
I know. All the numbers actually equal up to a great equation.
We played multiple trailer parks on that tour.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did.
Who booked that one?
I believe Matt Pike booked that tour.
Okay.
Yeah, still booking Converge
even
today.
with a booking agent, he was booking. I mean, it's also Mississippi.
Who the hell is going to book Jesuit and Botch in 1997?
Right.
In the middle of the... No one.
Right.
No one. On that same tour, we played... where was it? It was somewhere else in that zone.
Yeah.
We played... I think it was like a pizza place or something.
Uh-huh.
And the show was us, Botch, and what are they called? The 3 exclamation points band? Chuck. Yeah.
Whatever you want to say it.
Yeah.
Duck.
Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
They played, and it was like their very first tour. They didn't even have anything, like any music released.
Right.
They were just touring off of somebody having been in Constantine Sankati.
Wait, someone was in Constantine Sankati at Chick?
Yes.
Constantine Sankati's a running weird joke I had in the old version of the podcast.
Oh, really?
It just come up all the time because I hated the Agna Moraid's autobiography 7-inch, which was after Constantine. But I'm now like, oh, was it someone from Chick?
Well, I'm really glad that I can add to your ongoing joke.
You've added to the pile.
But we played in this place, and literally there was no one there. Just the kid that put the show on. Us and that band. And there were picnic tables inside the venue, and we just played to each other. And we all just wanted to leave.
Sure. Wait, but did they make you play? Or did that guy make you play? Or did you feel like we're here?
Bro, we made ourselves play because we had to.
I mean, what else are you going to do there?
We're here for the music, man.
Right.
You know, we've got to do this for ourselves.
Right.
We have to do this for our lack of self-respect.
We have to continue the self-hate tour.
Yeah. Oh, man. And we sure did.
Would you say that's like the worst? I think that I'm trying to think of where the worst area in America is to play, where it's like almost guaranteed shows are going to be kind of garbage.
You can have a shitty show anywhere. Believe me. I've had them all over.
Right.
I guess that depends on what your definition of shitty is. Like, are you talking about low turnout or vibe? Because I've had amazing shows in those places where there were 10 people at the show.
Right.
You know, like
I think turnout is the least shitty of factors most of the time.
Yeah, I mean,
could you get used to that? You're just like,
you're
tour.
like,
Who knows
yeah,
us?
of course, no one likes us.
Right.
Why would anyone be here?
Right.
Why am I here?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, for the most part, I can have a good time anywhere as long as I get to make some noise.
Right.
And on the worst shitty nights, like, you can always just laugh at it.
Right.
You know?
What happens in those moments when you can't laugh at it? Like,
well, then you cry.
Yeah, and then you cry. Well, I think with that, like, what pushes you to continue? Because I think that's the thing is, like, a lot of times, you know, this comes up in the podcast, like, most shows, especially early on, are just garbage.
Well, yeah, most bands are garbage.
Right, and yeah, exactly. Most bands,
mine included.
Yeah, you don't realize, you keep lying to yourself that you're in a good band. Like, what made you keep being like, all right, let me get back in the cycle again?
You know, I think it's like something as silly as something like just saying to someone, yeah, we'll do that.
Right.
And then it's like, fuck, I made a commitment. I have to stick to my commitments.
Right.
When in actuality, at any time, you could be like, I could just stop torturing myself at any time.
Yeah.
Maybe I like it. I don't know.
I mean, that is the weird, like, that's like something that, like, came up with talking about comedy stuff with my therapist recently, where once all of a sudden he goes, you know, you can just quit. And I was like, wait, what? Like, no, I can't. Like, and it just didn't register.
It's like,
and
dude,
that certainly never registered. Like, I feel like any bit, like, I would
Yeah.
just go into another band, and each time I would just be like, oh, right, I have to do this.
Yeah,
like,
this is what I do, man.
Right.
Like,
it's hard to get around that, though.
well, it's like when, like, you're like, Dad, you have to stop eating all this high cholesterol food. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
This is how I eat.
Right. Yeah, is there some of that in when you kind of continue to play, at least for you, like, is there a bit of kind of a fuck you, no, I'm going to keep doing this even though the world, myself, is telling me, no, I shouldn't be doing this?
For sure, man.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, now things are different. Like, who knows how long it'll last, but Converge has achieved a little bit of success, so it's a lot easier for us to maintain it.
Right.
And I feel like we're in a good place creatively, whereas we're like still really productive and really happy about the things that we're doing. But even still, you know, if that wasn't working out, I would still be torturing myself playing this horrible music that I can't understand why anyone wants to listen to it.
Right. Yeah, because there's that thing. You just get to that point, and then you're like, well, I guess I still like it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird begrudgingness and liking that like it.
Yeah, and then the older you get, you're like, well, I'm in my 40s. What am I going to do? Like,
you threw your lot into this.
Yeah, this is what I do.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to golf.
Right.
I'm not going to what do people do?
I know, that's the problem. I don't know what normal people do.
I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Like, I have a kid now.
Right.
And, you know, I meet other parents, and I talk to them, and I don't know what to talk to them about.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, what do you do? And I'm just like, I don't even, you don't want to know. Let's not talk about this. What do you do?
What type of band is it, though? Oh, metal, like this? Like, like,
do you like playing bars around here?
Yeah. Oh, originals? Do you play originals?
Oh, yeah. And there is no positive way to answer that question, because it's either, oh, this guy is a fucking piece of shit that's mooching off his wife, or this guy's an asshole and he's bragging.
Right.
And you can't just be like, yeah, I play in a hardcore band.
As a new parent, actually, this is going with worst of life. But yeah, like, how do you, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately, because luckily my kid's only 3.5 months, so I haven't had to integrate with other parents as much yet.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, that's my word. Like, how do you kind of just bite your tongue?
You just go into it and just I don't know, just hang, whatever. Like, surprisingly, we've met a lot of really cool people.
Right.
My biggest fear when I was where you are was that I'm going to end up having to hang out with, you know, some, like, ex-high school football star dad that, like, you know, I can't relate to. those guys want nothing to do with me. Like they see me and they're like, this, I don't want to hang out with that nerd.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, I don't, because I got nothing in common with you anyways, so we're good. So, and I've found, and this will probably be the same for you.
Right.
My daughter, since my wife and I are weirdos, all the people in our lives are weirdos, she just immediately gravitates towards the kids whose parents are weirdos.
Oh, good.
And, like, she's made all these friends, and they're all, like, she just found the kids with the punk parents.
Right.
You know? Not even, like, just randomly, like, on the playground.
Right.
Like, I like this kid. Oh, cool. Your parents are into the same shit I am.
Right.
Cool. All right. We can hang. You know?
Good. That's just, it's I mean, that's the hope is I raise them right so that I'm not hanging out with a bunch of people that I hated from high school.
Yeah.
All over again when I'm 40.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like every day hoping. So like going back, like I do want to go back to even more with Jesuit. So what was like, so Jesuit was from the Virginia area.
Yes.
Like what was the Virginia scene like that? Like who were the bands you're kind of playing with all the time, and what were the shows generally like?
In the, like when Jesuit was together or just in general?
Both.
Well,
when it was like, oh, I got to get into this scene, I should start a band. And then once you got into it with the band, you're like, oh, this is different than what I thought it was.
I started going to shows in the late 80s in Virginia, and there was a really good hardcore scene there.
Right.
You know, there was like a band called Dead Aim, a band called God's Will. Mm-hmm. You know, they never really got outside of the Virginia Beach area, but we had a lot of good shows come through, like bigger bands and stuff. So I guess I was lucky to have all that stuff coming through, and we were, you know, with the proximity to DC, a lot of the DC bands came through. So I was always like, I want to play music. I'm into music, you know. But it wasn't until the early '90s when bands like Avail and Four Walls Falling were playing a lot. Avail especially was the band that kind of was like, oh, these dudes are the guys that I see at the shows all the time, and they're killing it. I want to do that, you know. And they were probably the first group of people that ever really encouraged me to keep going. Like they put my horrible bands in high school on all their shows whenever they came through. I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell you because.
All right. When I tell you mine later, then you'll eventually say it. But go on.
All right. But yeah, like it was. Those were the bands that kind of set the stage for everyone. And by the time Jesuit was playing out, I had already been in a few bands. I was in a band before that called Channel.
Right.
And
1 7-inch on Stillborn.
Yep. And then
Jamie Josta's label.
Yep. Jamie put that one out.
I'm from Connecticut, so like.
I
lived under the rule of Jamie.
Everyone did. Right?
Yep. Booking every single show.
Yeah. It was either Jamie's shows or Studio 158.
Yeah.
You know.
And then we had Fernando at Tune In.
Oh, yep. That's right.
And then Hatebreed was banned from.
Yep.
From Tune In, and then 25 to Life would always play Hatebreed covers, which was weird.
Scene politics, man.
Oh, man, it really is like the concept of that, and the fact of like, you know, oh, Integrity can't come to Connecticut anymore because of either FSU or DMS, like the weird in between, and then we had SDS, and like, you know, like
man,
that whole. I remember somewhat like FSU coming down with a gun, like to a Hatebreed show, and I was like, okay.
Shit got weird.
That's just how life works.
Yeah.
In hardcore.
Connecticut hardcore.
Right.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. But so Channel had 2 7-inches.
2 7-inches, yeah. And
what were Channel shows like?
They were your typecast early 90s metallic emotive hardcore shows where like dudes wore chokers and huge pants but didn't wear shoes. Yep. And lots of shirt pulling and, you know, hand in the pocket kind of moving around because I don't want to invade anyone's space by moshing too hard. You know, meanwhile.
Possibly wearing a shirt that says caffeine is a drug.
Yeah, okay. Or straight edge isn't cool anymore, or I don't know, whatever.
Whatever Andrew Thomas Company had put out that week.
Yeah. You know, is Razzle here with his distro? that kind of thing.
Yep. Which weirdly, I ended up being like envious of that stuff, like, because it's just when I grew up, it was all like I said, hate breeds.
Yeah.
25 to Life. Like I saw 25 to Life every weekend, and I would never go to Studio 158 because it felt too far to drive to.
I think everyone on the East Coast saw 25 to Life every weekend.
And bought a weird bootleg tape from Rick to Life's distro.
Yeah, bought my band's bootleg tape.
That's the only dude who bootlegged my high school band Switch Stance's demo.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it, and we always say, it was like, why is this on purple paper?
Yeah.
On a Radio Shack tape. I didn't print it on purple paper.
I'm like, what? You can't be making money off of off of the Jesuit demo.
Right.
But hey, whatever.
Yeah, Godspeed,
cool.
Rick to Life, the funniest thing in the world.
You know what? People found out about the band that way, so that's cool, I guess. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But, like, it's funny how that stuff... what I was going to say, like, I was kind of partly convinced that back then Rick had, like, franchises of 25 to Life.
Certainly.
Like, all right, this 25 to Life is playing Connecticut this week. This 25 to Life is playing Virginia Beach. This one's playing in Baltimore.
It was insane how much they played. But also, like, I just remember, not to get so far into Rick to Life, but there was one 25 to Life show that they played at the Tune-In where they played Inside Knowledge, their, like, main song, 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like, I remember it was just like all of a sudden it was like, oh, Ricky G showed up. We got to do it again. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Again, Inside Knowledge. And then they played Not One Truth by Hatebreed and Jamie Show. And I was like, what is going on? But that was the 25 to Life way. They franchised it, and then slowly they'd come and correct too.
Yeah.
So they could have multiple venues all at once.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I had never listened to them. I couldn't name one 25 to Life song.
I loved the demo.
Hey,
lot.
Cool. Nothing wrong with that, man.
Telling you, go find Inside Knowledge. You'll love his take on
I'm going to check it out. Like, when all that stuff was going on, I was into Rorschach and Born Again. So
that's the thing. It was just like, and I think that's also just, that's why I'm saying it was envy. It's like, especially at that time, and also, like, you know, it's the old man, like, pre-internet thing, but it's like where you grew up specifically sometimes in, like, a state.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And that's the thing, because, like, I never went to Studio 158, and I look at their calendars, like,
really?
oh, right. Those are all the bands I would have gone to, but I lived
man.
in Cheshire, Connecticut, which was next to New Haven.
When 25 to Life was when 25 to Life was at the Tune-In or the Bristol Bike Exchange every weekend.
Yep.
Channel was at Studio 158 every weekend.
Yeah. Playing with cable.
Yeah.
But then weirdly, I missed One-Eyed God Prophecy at the Bike Exchange.
Oh, that's a weird.
And I looked, I think, at the weekend, and it was like, oh, it's probably an Earth Crisis show. Like, again, for the billionth time.
Hey, man.
Because Tenfold and Fast Break and Some of All Fears in my band were playing.
Hey, well, you had fun, so.
I enjoyed it all.
It's all good.
So then channel shows were all that Giant Pants.
Giant Pants. Jesuit kind of, like, channel broke up, and I was like, I want to do something else. And I had just discovered, like, Dazzling Killman and Today Is the Day and Dead Guy. I'd gotten the Dead Guy demo, and I was like, I want to be crazy. And, you know, I loved all, like, that noise rock stuff. And so...
throwing guitars is fun.
Throwing guitars is fun. If you can't play it, throw it and make people think you're crazy. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And
that's why my guitarist bought a second guitar that was just a throwing one.
That would have been smart. I should have done that.
He found, like, a $50 weird wooden one that was, like, a no-name. And he had, like, his ESP Kirk Hammett. And then he switched to the throwing guitar.
I just kept breaking the Les Paul that I got when I graduated from high school.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and by that point there had been like a pretty strong DIY scene building up in Virginia, and like there were numerous venues that like hardcore kids were booking shows and stuff, and so there was a good scene. There was a lot going on, and we had a lot of support, regardless of how hard we tried to make people not like us. So it was cool. At least in Virginia we did.
Sure.
And then there were other places where we did okay, like here in New York we did okay. We did okay in Massachusetts and a few other places, but we were fucking dipshits. And
Here's what I wanted to ask about Jesuit.
Oh, boy.
That goes along, well, it just goes along with the worst part. So, like, I loved the demo.
Thank you.
The demo was there were like certain demos that I really, like, I loved the Conifera demo.
It's a good demo.
It's a great demo, right?
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite demo. Like, there's just something about it that, like, they hit everything really perfect.
No one knows about that band either, and they were fucking great, man.
It's a constant listen still.
Yeah.
But like the Jesuit demo was in there as well as like some of my favorite like demos. But like so much like demos, the recording quality was crazy.
Oh, it was awful.
Sounding and then I remember even like I got the discography. I was like, still kind of sounds fucked.
Well,
Like,
because we had to.
how did you what was the way you were recording that, and then
I mean, everything was just straight live to tape.
Right.
Like, there was this little studio down there that like a lot of the Virginia, like the older Virginia hardcore bands recorded at. And
Right.
if you had money to actually spend time on a recording,
Sure.
you could get a good recording. Us, being the shitheads that we were like, I got $25. I got 40. Like, we literally had like $150 and went to Bob Gursky,
Right.
is his name, and rest in peace. He passed away. He used to do sound at a lot of the shows down there too,
Okay.
and he ran the studio. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll record your demo." And we came in, we're like, "We have $140," and he's just like, "What?" Okay, I can set up the mics.
Yeah.
And we're just like, how many mics? Like, how much is that going to cost? Like, literally, he was just like, all right, look, I'm just going to set up the mics and press record.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And we just did all the songs, no breaks, just,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, because I think like
And we didn't even have time to mix it. We were like, that sounds fine.
that's good enough. That is what they are.
Yeah.
Well, just because it reminded me of the Hatebreed demo, which I loved as well. Because I was a freaking Connecticut kid, but like it had that like. I always wondered if the Jesuit demo I had got the Rick to Life treatment, or it reminded me of like my high school band Switch Dance again. Our dumb way, like we went to some studio in our hometown, did the classic where when I started singing, the guy was like, "Is that what his voice is supposed to sound like?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's it." He's like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah.
But we got the demo, and then to make copies, we would put a copy in, do the double tape,
Yep.
but then move it over. So basically, we just kept denigrating
Yeah,
it each
just making
time.
it worse and worse.
And we did realize, because who knows where they went.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't sure if that, how you made that, or if it.
I mean, we had a couple, like each of us got a master tape.
Yep.
And we all had to make copies on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, the things just deteriorated
Yeah.
after like 2 weeks,
Right.
and like the sound quality was awful.
Right.
We all had shitty stereos.
Right.
Like, we just kept making tapes like that.
I mean, the weird part is, like, I know where certain drops are in some of these demos. Like, I know when the sound will pop out. Just, I know it's like, oh, yeah, that part is when I can't hear the left ear for 1 second.
Yeah.
So when in between, what was the kind of in between Jesuit and then, when did you join Converge again?
I was still, like, right at the end of Jesuit.
It was a carryover.
Yeah. I joined Converge in 98.
Okay.
So, like, Converge needed a bass player
Yep.
for the When Forever Comes Crashing tour that they did with Today Is the Day.
Right.
I filled in for that tour, got back, was home for like a week, and then Jesuit went on tour with Botch.
Okay.
And then that tour broke us.
What was the final? What do you think was? I mean, usually it's a fucking 1,000 paper cuts that breaks you there. But like, what was you think final thing there?
Man, it was the whole tour. Well, okay, first off, we're like, yeah, let's do an 8-week tour.
There you go. That's the end of it right there.
Yeah, there you go. So you end up playing with Cop Sodomy
because you are literally playing everywhere you can in America.
Yeah, we were just like, fuck it, let's do it. Not realizing that, you might get $20 to get some gas.
Right.
You still have to eat.
Yeah.
Like you still have to, shit got dark there for a while, man. We were like, we were crust punks basically, like I dumpster dived. What's the present, or what's the proper?
Dumpster dove. Let's go with dove.
I've dove into dumpsters.
There we go.
You know, like, did the thing where we would all go to like Denny's or something. One person would order something, and I would just wait and watch someone leave their table before it got bust. Just, I'm gonna take all those fries.
Yep.
Like, everybody got sick because of shit like that. We would, like, when we had a little bit of extra cash, we would like go to the grocery store and buy an entire rack of ramen noodles and just be like, okay, this will feed us for a week.
Yep.
You know, like shit like that. You know, it was stupid.
That's why I never understood, like, when everyone shifted to stop being straight edge. Like, and then I was like, oh wait, you only are getting the $5 a day.
Yeah, how are you
that we
living?
allotted, and you're getting booze and cigarettes.
Yeah,
I don't know what crazy plan you're on. So I remember being also
getting all those calories from beer. I guess.
Like, I remember being on tour with the Red Scare, and they would do mustard tacos, which is just, they would buy just like white bread, and then just do one slice and just squeeze some mustard on.
Ugh.
And they was called a mustard taco because you could get double the sandwiches out of that.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, math, it worked out, but
yeah,
it seemed like a nightmare.
I mean, nutrition was like a thing that never even...
Non-existent.
We didn't, you know, I'm healthy, I'm vegetarian.
Yeah.
Like, no.
French fries.
Yeah.
It's good to go.
Yeah, I'm not eating meat, I'm totally healthy.
Right.
Fuck
I remember once, too, when you were saying, like, taking food, we were at, it was like a dire time, and we were at Buddha's in Boston, the vegetarian place, and I think, like, Victory was there. They had just signed Cast Iron Hike, and they were like trying to like take them out.
Oh, awesome!
And then they left all of their food, and I was like, "Yep, chicken fingers,
scoop.
Yep, give them up."
Nice.
So, what was when you started doing Converge tours? Because that's also like, I felt, you know, Orchid shows were not guaranteed at all, but there was a marked difference from like the bands I was in with Jay versus like I did the same deal where Orchid needed a bass player.
Yeah.
I was on break. I could do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, right. We're in shows where people at least semi-care some places. Like, did you have that feeling kind of getting in, like, Converge shows?
Yeah, I mean, it was a distinct change in that there was a feeling in Converge that everyone was a little more driven and motivated to make things work.
Right.
And not to say that people in my other bands were not, but I think my particular brand of like overzealous craziness was draining for them, and coming into another situation where there were other people that already had their thing going. Right. It was like, oh, okay, like this is already working. Like I don't need to fucking be the guy that's like giving.
Because you were probably were you the driving force in Jesuit? In general.
Pretty much, like
Because I always feel like you need one, at least one.
Yeah, every band needs that, but I think that really, when you asked the question earlier, what was the straw that broke the camel's back? It was probably me. Right. Because I was like, fuck this, we're gonna do this fucking tour. We're going out for 8 weeks. Who gives a shit if we don't need money? Right. Fuck it. We're going to go crush every other band, especially ours. Yeah.
Yes. We will destroy ourselves by the end of these 8.
And we did.
Did you make it through the 8 weeks?
We did.
Okay.
We did make it through the 8 weeks, but like, Botch didn't.
Oh, really?
No, Botch just left off, and I guess they had van trouble, so they stopped in Seattle. Right. And, yeah, that was a gnarly tour. So much shit happened on that tour. That was the tour where we got trying to cross into Canada from Detroit. We got stopped at the border and detained and held for like, I don't know, for a whole day. Right. So we missed that show. We had to pay all this money because we were idiots.
The fake recording contract.
Fake recording contract. Up. No, we don't have anything to declare. What's this box of T-shirts? Those are free. Yeah. No, they're not.
Just promos. You've never heard this story before.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude. So you can pay us or you can go to jail. Yeah. You know, and we're fuck. So
Canada never, like, it almost every time I felt like it didn't. I was never sure if it felt worth it, especially at that level, like because it was just always such fucking work.
It was work, but we had great shows in Canada. The shows were always awesome, but not that show because we didn't make it.
Right.
So then we were like, all right, we can make it to the next show. At least we'll blast through.
Right.
I don't even remember where it was at this point, but like we start driving on the highway. We're like we're fucking flying on the highway. And all of a sudden, dead stop. Like, what the fuck's going on? And we're like, all right, we're in a traffic jam. Okay, we'll be here for a little while. A little while turns into a long while. Turns into almost spending the night on the highway because a truck carrying plate glass had overturned. Ugh. Like, you know you're fucked when the guys driving the trucks get out and are just talking to each other with the trucks turned off.
Yep.
We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, once the idol is gone,
you're
like, we're staying here for a while.
So we were there for a long time. And so by the time we get moving again, the sun's coming up. So we're like, okay, well, we're not making this show. We didn't make this show.
Right.
Let's blast. We'll make it to the next one. If we drive all day, we'll make it. So we're driving. All of a sudden, the van starts fishtailing. Both rear tires blow out and the rear suspension.
Ugh.
We're like, fuck. All right. We're in Canada.
Right.
One of us has AAA.
Yep.
So we call AAA. We don't have AAA Plus, by the way. So they'll only tow you 10 miles.
Yeah. It's chump change when you're on tour.
So we literally had to just, drop us here. Call them again. Like walk till we can find a payphone.
Yep.
Call them again. Hey, we broke down again. And like that took us an entire day to get us to a Ford dealership.
Right.
Where the dealership was not open.
Right. Missed
that show. Spent the night in the parking lot. I think I slept on top of the van.
Yep.
Where we wake up, people start showing up to the dealership to, we go in at like 7 a.m, like, hey, our van broke down. We need to fix this. Oh, yeah, we can't do that here. There's another dealership like 60 miles up the road. We're like, fuck. Call AAA.
Yep.
So kept doing that. Missed that show. Finally get to the other dealership. They're like, yeah, we can do it, but we can't get the parts until tomorrow. So they order the parts, fix them. We're like, okay, blast. We're going to make it to the last show in Canada. So literally that's what we do. We fucking just pedal to the metal, like all the way to Montreal to was it Underworld?
Yep.
Or Underground?
I feel like Underworld.
It was one of those.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And I'm not even joking. We literally got there in time to double park out front, get one of the other guys and one of the other bands to sit in our van while we walked on the stage and played on someone else's gear just for our set time. And we played it, and then we drove back to the States.
Yep.
And the Botch tour also, it was Dillinger Escape Plan's first tour.
Okay.
We took them out opening.
Right.
And that's funny.
Yeah.
That they were the opener because.
Did they last the whole tour?
Well, they were only on like 2 weeks.
Oh, they did. But okay.
Yeah, but they did the whole 2 weeks. But we cross right after we get back into the States, cross the border like the convoy of our vans. We're driving just like, oh, thank fucking whoever, thank Buddha, thank thank the great architect. We like cross into the States, Botch and Dillinger pull out of the fucking convoy, speed up, flank us, completely cover our van in eggs on the highway. Like, you motherfuckers.
After all that crap.
After all that shit, that's what you do.
Right.
I hate you. And, so then we had to pull over and clean the eggs off the van. After a point, we got them off the window. We were like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. And,
as long as we can see and we're not going to crash.
Yeah, so that was That was one of the worst shows.
Yeah, that sounds like a barrage of terrible.
Yeah.
How many more weeks did you have after that?
It was a long time.
That's the thing. When it's like, there's sometimes, it's like when it's right in the middle. It's just like, there's always that point in the middle where you're just like, ugh, maybe we should stop. Maybe this is the time to just quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
no, man, we got to keep fucking going. We have to do this.
What do you, I mean, thinking about that, like, what do you do personally to get through that kind of dark night of the soul moment that I think comes on any long tour? That moment where you're just staring out the window for the billionth time. You're like, I don't even want to read. I want to look at anything. I want to talk to anyone.
I don't know, man. Like,
because someone was just asking me, and I was like, I'm not sure I have an exact answer. I think I just zoned out so much that I, like,
eat donuts.
left my body.
Donuts.
Yeah.
Potato chips.
Right.
You know,
tried to stop again for more snacks.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, man. Like, you have to, like, turn off your brain for a little while, like,
right.
and just zone out, which is difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Because I also think that's one of the things people don't, like, anytime you talk to, like, you know, someone who didn't play music or doesn't play music, like, I remember, like, when Panthers broke up, I had multiple people like, why would you ever think of not playing? And I'm like, I could give you a billion reasons.
Come on the road for 3 days.
Yeah. Like, yeah, try being in a van and, like, hating everyone around, the smell. Like, you open the door and you're like, ugh, I know what this smell is.
Yep.
Like, who did that? Why is that person doing that again?
Why is this wet shirt
the fucking
where
wet shirt.
I sit?
Right.
What the fuck?
Right.
Now everything's fucking wet and
Yep.
disgusting. Like,
Our singer would always use the equipment as the drying rack. But then it would just be like, everything would get funky.
Yep.
And I'd be like, it's not your equipment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one touching it later.
Yeah. Like, I got to the point where I would just be like, out the window.
Right.
Sorry, motherfucker.
Right.
I've learned that the best thing to do is just to let it dry on your body.
Yeah.
It's gross.
I think so, too.
Let it dry, and then you can take it off.
Yeah.
But until then, sorry, man.
Yeah.
Take one
I
for the
agree
team.
completely. Because it was just like, if you're doing anything else, you're infringing on.
Yeah.
Like, I remember even in France once our drummer puked while we were playing. Like, because he had eaten some weird cheese. And mid-Orchid said he puked in his shirt. Like, as to, like, catch it.
Why would you puke in your shirt?
I think it was a weird, like, wasn't completely thinking, didn't want to mess up the venue.
That's like falling back to, like, kindergarten.
That's
like,
what
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. And so he just had, like, a gigantic puke spot. But then I think it ended up, like, give it a day. It was, like, by my feet.
Yep.
And I was like, come on, get a bag. Do something.
Throw the shirt away.
Yes, it's over. We're
Yeah.
never wearing that shirt again.
Yeah.
Do you have are there any, like, kind of either said or unsaid rules that, like, come up, like, on the bus or in the van that, like, are to make things go easier with everyone?
We have a stink line in the trailer, you know, like just a bungee across the, you know, put your fucking nasty shit on that.
Oh,
you know,
that's
like,
a good, that was you quarantine it.
Yeah, it doesn't go in here.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of shit. Or if you do bring it, then you fucking stuff it in your bag.
Right.
Because it's not anyone else's problem.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
The quarantine has to happen.
Yeah, dude. It's...
Does anyone do the piss in a bottle?
Yeah.
See, you say, yeah, like, of course. I've always been very anti, and I've never been in a band that we've done that.
Really?
Ever. In my mind, I'm always like, there's a fucking rest stop, or you can pull over.
I have a band full of crazy people who, like... I don't know what it is. Like, there are multiple dudes who, while driving, hey, man, can you stop in the next rest area?
Right.
Just dead silence. Can you please stop at the next rest area? Yeah. You just Hey. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to piss in this bottle.
Right.
And then now it's all over my pants.
Sure.
Fuck it. Who cares?
One of the reasons I've never done it. That's what I think sometimes. That's one of the things that maybe kept us going a little bit longer.
Honestly, I can't do it anymore.
Right.
And it's a mental block because one time I did, and we hit a pothole, and like it sprayed everywhere, all over my clothes,
Right.
all over like the pillow that I had on the bench seat, like, and it was the middle, like it was an overnight drive in Europe,
Yeah.
and our tour manager Chepitz was driving, you know, like I was just like I like just all over like fucking like a garden hose, and I was like, ah, you know, everyone else is asleep.
Yep.
And, you know, I like get it under control, put the lid on, because when it hit it, the piss like
Sure.
came out of the bottle too, and
Yeah.
like, and I was, you know, like mortified, but I'm like, at least nobody saw that. I can clean this up.
Yep.
And I look up, and our roadie Thomas, who was doing merch, is just sitting in the loft staring at me. And I just look at him, and he just goes, "You're a fucking idiot." and I go, "Don't tell anyone."
Please.
And he just goes, "Whose sweatshirt is that?" The one that I was soaking up the piss with.
Yo.
And I just pick it up and look at it, and I go, "It's yours." And I'm like, "I'm sorry." And he just goes, "Put it on." "What?" "Put it on, or I'm telling everyone." "Okay." "You can't change your pants, or I'm telling everyone." "Okay." "Lay down in your piss, or I'm telling everyone." "Okay."
You got treated like a dog.
Yep, and I did it. Slept on the piss pillow on my face. Didn't even care. I was so tired.
Yeah.
Didn't even care. Come to find out, weeks later, he had told everyone. And I was just wearing his fucking piss sweatshirt.
But you learned your lesson.
And they were
now
all,
you have a mental
every
block.
time they saw me, "Hey, cool sweatshirt. Why are you wearing Thomas's sweatshirt?" "I
like
lost mine.
That is
I
amazing.
got mustard on mine."
Did you keep the pillow?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You got, dude, a pillow
I know.
on tour, that's a hot commodity.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's all I need. At the very least, I need that pillow.
That's just a little slice of heaven.
You do just need, do you even think you're sleeping? So when you're, you know, when you're sharing a room.
Right.
But let's also think of like terms if you're lucky to have a hotel room.
Right.
Back in the day, but also everyone's in one room.
Yeah.
You're doing the classic like, yeah, it's just two of us and we're all going to sneak in the back.
Yeah.
What was your preferred place of sleep?
Anywhere, get in where you could fit in, man. But after a while, I realized camping gear has gotten really great. Mm-hmm. So I just bought a mattress pad and a sleeping bag and like had my own setup. And then I was like, sleep where the fuck you want. I don't care.
Yeah. We have an inflatable mattress, a self-inflating one. I'm like, man, if I had just looked into it for 2 seconds. Because
Right.
I would always go floor.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't like sharing a bed. And it was mostly just because, especially in Panthers, it was like Jay talked in his sleep.
Yeah.
Like drummer rubbed his feet, and it always seemed like he was jerking off. Like Kip just always was like kicking, and
Yeah.
then our guitarist Justin just was the loudest snorer that's ever existed.
Oh, no, he's not.
And,
He needs to meet our sound guy, Sean.
Okay,
Yeah, we call him Chainsaw.
he's the one breaking boundaries.
He snores so bad that he gets his own hotel room.
Wow.
Yeah, we're like, you know what? I don't even want to add up how much this costs at the end of the tour. It's worth it to me.
It's a legitimate expense at a
Yeah,
certain point.
it's just sorry. Sean gets his own room.
You're getting very little sleep anyways.
Yep.
And that little bit you have, if you've got Chainsaw next to you
Nope.
the whole night, that's what I would always sleep with earplugs in my sleeping bag underneath the sink.
Oh yeah.
Or in the
I
bathroom if
always
I could.
wear earplugs. It's funny whenever someone new comes on the road with us, and we're like, yeah, who's bunking with who? And we're just like, all right, well, Sean's got his own room. Who do you want? And they're just like, well, you don't have to get another room. Just no, I'll sleep in the. I'm like, okay, man.
Yeah.
Next
Your
morning, eyes just all glazed over and puffy. Dude, I didn't know. I've never heard anything like that. We tried to tell you, man.
Yeah. You didn't listen. You're the newbie.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
So that was amazing stories.
Oh, thank you.
You truly played some worse gigs.
Couple
The final
2, 3.
question we always ask. What do you think of the word gig?
Whatever. It's kind of funny to say
Yeah.
it. I don't use it seriously when I
Right.
say gigs. I'm like, what's up, bro? You out gigging?
Right.
Playing gigs?
Right.
It's,
That's for the parents who you're hanging out with.
Yeah, that's for Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Oh, you gigging?
Were you gigging tonight?
Yeah, where are you gigging? I was with Jason from Neurosis earlier. We were just talking about having to go to Guitar Center and how awful it is on tour.
It's the worst.
Because you go in, it's like going to Home Depot. But you go in and you're just like, hey, I just need 2 rolls of gaff. I need these strings. I need this, and this. What kind of music you play? I just need some gaff tape.
Let me just go back to my list.
I need some 1mm Dunlop picks and a collapsible guitar stand.
Where you guys gigging tonight, though?
Yeah.
Where you gigging at?
Well, no, seriously, what kind of music do you play? I guess it's metal. Oh, you don't want those strings for metal.
Christ.
Dude,
I know what I want.
I told you what I want.
Right?
It's
Let
right.
me leave.
It's behind the counter. I can't physically get it. Will you just turn around and put it in your hand and put it right there? I'll give you money.
If there was a nice way to say, can we do this transaction without talking?
Yeah.
That would be the ideal.
Like, can't you have like the Chipotle app?
Yeah.
You know, just, okay, I want this, and this. Click.
God, they should make that for bands. That
should.
would be the dream.
They
dream
should.
app. They make millions.
Yeah.
I would certainly buy
You just
more
pull
from
up to Guitar Center like, here, okay, here's the barcode on my phone. Here's your bag of shit. Bye.
Yeah, because I work extra hard to not go to Guitar Center.
Me
Especially
too.
And it's like, if that's the last ditch, it's always that sigh of like, I guess we got to go.
Yeah.
Guitar Center.
It's the worst.
Talk about some gigs with some assholes.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Right on.